All right. Okay, so Mr. Grammer, this is in the matter of Stephanie Nicole Wilson versus Adam Ray Grammer, file number 2011-36717DS. So, Mr. Grammer, we are here on two things: a failure to pay child support and a failure to appear. So, Mr. Grammer, says here you're ordered to pay $611 a month in child support. And as of today's date, you have an arrearage in excess of $24,543. Mr. Vasquez, was this ever referred to the Attorney General for a felony?
That's my knowledge, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Grammer, do you understand that you're potentially facing a felony for failure to pay child support, which could result in up to 4 years in prison?
Yes, ma'am, I understand. I actually
on this today, we have two things: failure to pay, and failure to pay child support is a crime in the state of Michigan, and you could be facing in front of me a maximum penalty of up to 90 days in jail on a first offense and 45 on a first offense and 90 on a second offense. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, do you understand failure to appear when the court orders you to do so is also a crime, and you could also be facing up to 90 days in jail for failure to appear for a court date on October 23rd of 2023. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but I wasn't aware of the court date.
Now, Mr. Grammer, Mr. Grammer, I'm going through your rights, and you'll get an opportunity to speak, but you wait until I tell you. So, last payment we received was $649.65, which was probably your income taxes because it was an involuntary seizure. 2 previous payments were made in 2021. And from the court says that the last address they were provided was 12705 Harrison, and then no address has been updated since then. So, sir, do you understand that you do have a right to have an attorney represent you at this and all subsequent hearings?
Yes, ma'am.
If you can't afford to hire one, we can appoint you one at public expense. Are you going to retain an attorney, or do you wish to have a court-appointed attorney?
The public defender.
Okay, so Ms. Underwood, I am going to place you in a breakout room with Mr. Grammer, and then you can determine, one, if he's eligible for court-appointed counsel. And Mr. Grammer, hold on a second. You are in Lenawee County Jail, room 1. All right, so you're going to get an invitation to join the breakout room. Go ahead. Use the mouse to click on join. Yep. I think he's got it. Okay. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Megan Marie Rodriguez. We have 2 files, 13-16407FH and 13-16408FH. So Ms. Rodriguez, you are currently on probation still on both of these files for a possession of cocaine less than 25 grams, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 20 years in prison if you plead guilty or are found guilty of these violations. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the alleged violation is that on May 17th of 2013, your terms of probation ordered you to report as instructed, and that you failed to report on March 19th of 2018 or any time thereafter. Do you understand those are the allegations against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you have a different last name, so you've gotten married in this time period?
Yes, I've done a lot in the last 7 years. Changed my whole life.
Okay, but what is your last name now? Cooper?
Cooper, yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So, Ms. Rodriguez, you do have the right to have an attorney represent you on this and all subsequent hearings. If you can't afford to hire one, we can appoint you one at public expense. Would you like an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Ms. Underwood's in a breakout room right now with somebody else, so give us a couple minutes, and when she comes back and I finish that case, I'll put you in a breakout room with her, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Is that all I have? Yes, it's three. Oh, Ms. Underwood, that was quick. So let me bring him back in. And Miss Rodriguez, now known as Cooper, requested court-appointed counsel. So we'll have you talk to her next. All right, Mr. Grammer, can you let the jail staff know? Well, one of two things. I'm going to ask you to unmute. So if you get a request, can you click the button with the mouse to unmute your device?
I did.
Good job. All right, Miss Underwood, you've had a chance to speak with Mr. Grammer.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
Mr. Grammer is currently employed at, is it Aerotech, Mr. Grammer?
Yes, ma'am. Aerotech.
And where is that located?
I'll be in Michigan. I'll be taking apart solar panels and putting back solar panels together.
And what is your current address?
My current address.
we're live, Rhonda Underwood, so I really don't want the address live, so go ahead.
I understand. But you can give that to Mr. Vasquez if you have a breakout with him. Is that correct?
Yes.
And
So Miss Underwood, is he going to plead guilty or not guilty?
we would ask for a not guilty plea today, Your Honor.
Okay, and does he have any prior contempts, Mr. Vasquez?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. This changed from direct pay to the custodial parent to the third party back in 2020. I'm not sure if he had any previous contempts prior to that change.
Well, it's still the same file, right?
Correct.
It's still a 2011 file, so.
I can come up with some money too for tomorrow morning. I can have.
Well, hold on a minute, Mr. Grammer, because that's, yeah, you're not wrong there. So I'm just trying to verify whether you had a prior contempt on this file ever. I'm assuming he has. It's a 2011 and the amount is pretty high. He's looking. All right, Ms. Underwood, how long has Mr. Grammer been employed there?
Mr. Grammer, how long has it been?
I start tomorrow.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's why I'm really afraid about this, because I do start tomorrow and I have pretty intention.
Well, I'm not really worried about a job when you haven't paid child support in a couple years. So, all right. So, Ms. Underwood, you want a hearing set on this then?
Mr. Grammer, maybe we should have another brief breakout, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm gonna open a breakout room. Go ahead and rejoin your breakout room. All right, let me close that breakout room. All right, Miss Underwood, how would you, where's he at? Hold on, he's coming. All right,
Your
hold
Honor.
on, Miss Underwood, hold on, Mr. Grammer's not back yet. We got, there he is. All right, Miss Underwood.
Under the circumstances, Mr. Grammer is going to plead guilty this morning, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Grammer, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, so Mr. Grammer, you understand that it's a crime to fail to pay child support to the very best of your ability up to the amount ordered. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that it's a crime to fail to appear here in court when you're ordered to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand state policy is that you have a responsibility to change your address with front of the court? And if you fail to do so, and we mail it to the address that you last provided to us, that is considered valid service. Do you understand that?
I do now.
Okay, and you and Mr. Vasquez, were you ever able to determine whether he had a prior contempt or not?
I don't show any, Your Honor. Looks like he
Okay.
made deals to get out of his previous show causes.
Okay, so do you understand if you plead guilty to these offenses, I could sentence you to jail for up to 45 days? Do you understand that?
I understand.
Now, you would ask for court-appointed counsel. We appointed Miss Underwood to represent you. Are you satisfied with Miss Underwood and the advice that she has given you?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And you may not like it, but she's given you valid advice. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, sir, you are entitled to have a trial, and you cannot be convicted at the trial unless the evidence at the trial proves you are guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you, you're entitled to have all the witnesses against you appear at your trial, and you would have the right to question those witnesses, or your attorney would, while they're under oath. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You're also entitled to have me order any witnesses you might have to appear at the trial on your behalf. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have to say anything at your trial, and if you do not testify or say anything, nothing will be held against you, and in fact, no one will even mention your silence. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
On the other hand, do you understand that you are entitled to testify at your trial if you want to testify?
Yes, ma'am. But what was the trial?
So how do you, well, it's just your advice or rights, Mr. Grammer. So how do you plead to the charge that you failed to appear to pay child support to the very best of your ability up to the amount ordered? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And how do you plead to the charge that you failed to appear here on October 23rd of 2023 in front of Judge Olsaver? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, I guess.
Okay, so Mr. Grammer, you have a child support case, and it's actually a Judge Olsaver case. Now, you're ordered to pay $611 a month in child support. Is that correct?
I guess, yeah, I guess. Is that what you're telling me? I don't know. I never
You have
saw
a child
it.
support. So hold on, Mr. Grammer. You have a child. Is that correct?
Yes, but it used to only be $230, but now I didn't know it was 600. I'd never seen the paperwork.
Hold on. And right now, that child is living with a third party. Is that all right? Is that correct?
Living with his mother right now.
Okay, and you
If he's
have a
living-
child support.
He's supposed to be with
So,
his third party.
Mr. Grammer, hold on. I just need you to answer what I asked you. So, Mr. Grammer, you have a child support order in place, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. No, yes.
It's $611 now. I don't know if you didn't show up for a hearing, you didn't do something, but you understand you have that amount you're supposed to pay per month.
I do now, yes.
Okay, and maybe you thought it was $234, but you would admit you haven't made any payments at all except for an involuntary payment in 2023. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
And you were ordered to appear on October 23rd of 23, and the address we have is on Harrison Street, and you failed to appear. So do you not live on Harrison Street?
No, ma'am. I'm homeless.
And that's because you moved and you didn't provide written change of address?
Well, I'm homeless. I didn't know what to do. Like, where do you put your address at if you're homeless? You're living out of your
Well,
car.
do you have family members? A lot of times people will say, this is my mom's address. Can I use this for a while? Or this is my sister, my whatever. So you didn't provide. All right. And are the last 4 digits of your telephone number 2029?
No.
So you got a new phone number?
Yeah.
And did you provide that to the front of the court?
Well, I just recently got the proof, so no, I haven't.
Okay, all right, I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, accurately, and knowingly given. He has full knowledge of his rights. Ms. Underwood, before the court passes sentence, is there anything you wish to say on Mr. Grammer's behalf?
Briefly, Your Honor, Mr. Grammer, I believe is in the process of getting employment or has it lined up, Your Honor. I would say the court has a huge stick in front of it, Your Honor, because if Mr. Grammer fails to pay, the line to the Attorney General is very short. I would say put this sentencing out 2 weeks, let Mr. Grammer out on a PR and see if he can come up with $500 in a job. And if not, the court can sentence accordingly.
All right, Mr. Grammer, you said you could pay something?
Yes, ma'am. I could pay $300 when I get out of here tomorrow. I'll pay it. I'll borrow. I'll call everybody I know and borrow what I can. I just don't want to go to jail. I don't want to. I want to try. I just haven't had a lot of time to try. I've had a really hard life right now, and I haven't been able to.
Is there anybody that can pay the $300 for you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say, Mr. Grammer?
I'm sorry. That's all.
All right. So, Mr. Grammer, this is not my file. So, Ms. Underwood, I don't know how Judge Olsaver typically handles this, but what I'll do is I'll sentence him to 10 days in jail, and he can be released upon the payment of $300. So somebody's gonna have to pay that for you. Mr. Grammer, listen, I know it sounds like you've been going through a rough time, but your kids also go through a rough time when you do too. And so that's an obligation. And I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Mr. Vasquez so we can get your new phone number and your address. And then you'll need to have somebody pay that $300 and you'll be released, okay? If you get employment, you need to contact Mr. Vasquez right away. And you need to tell him, listen to me and tell him I'm working here. And then if you get your first paycheck, you got to look at it. And if they haven't taken child support out, you make that weekly or bi-weekly payment online until they start taking it out. You understand? I get tired of people coming in here going, well, they didn't take it out. Well, then you had a responsibility to pay. All right. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Vasquez, and Mr. Vasquez will get your personal information. And then I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you get that job. And it's a new year for you. All right. So go ahead and join that breakout room with Mr. Vasquez. All right, Miss Underwood, I have Miss Rodriguez, and she did ask for court-appointed counsel. So I'm going to put you to in a breakout room. Hold on, I gotta find it. Okay. There you go. Go ahead and join that breakout room. Becky, were there only 3 pickups for me, or did you say there were 4?
Yeah, there's only 3. I didn't realize that John Madison wasn't a pickup. That's just on the jail sheet.
Okay. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Judge Anzalone again. I have, Mr. Grammer, you're all set. Thank
Okay.
you. But Mr. Grammer is all set. Can I get Mr. McCormick?
Mr. McCormick, okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. McCormick had a good New Year's Eve. Okay. All right. Are you Mr. McCormick?
Yes, I am.
Good morning. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Wesley Allen McCormick, file number 23-21647FH. So, Mr. McCormick, we are here today on a alleged violation of bond conditions. The bond conditions on your file state that you shall not consume any alcoholic beverages of any nature, be in any place where it's sold by the glass, consume it, and then, well, okay, so they didn't mark the box for not using or possessing cocaine or heroin. So I'm not going to proceed on the violation for being in possession of cocaine. So the violation I have is that you blew a 0.029 BAC on January or December 30th at 3 p.m. In the afternoon. And the other allegation is that you were in possession of cocaine, but that is not a bond condition. What's your underlying offense? I don't know. They don't give me that. So, sir, do you understand a contempt of court carries up to 93 days in jail?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, keep me.
No, don't say anything yet. So, Mr. McCormick, who's your attorney on your file?
I believe it's Glazier, court appointed.
All right, so you have John Glazier. All right, and his next court date with you is January 24. of 24. All right. So, Mr. McCormick, you do have a right to have an attorney represent you here today and in all subsequent hearings. Obviously, I don't have Mr. Glazier here because Ms. Underwood handles all my pickups.
Okay.
But would you like an attorney appointed to represent you this morning, just so you can chat with them real quick?
Miss Underwood I'm comfortable with her.
Okay, all right, so Ms. Underwood, I'm going to open up a breakout room. And
After I'm done with Ms. Rodriguez, I will talk to Mr. McCormick.
oh, okay, I guess I forgot to bring her back. Let me bring her back. Hold on, sir, when I'm done with this file, I will turn you over to Ms. Underwood.
Okay, thank you.
I forgot her, sorry.
Or just hang tight for a minute.
Just hang out.
All right.
All right, so Ms. Underwood, I'm sorry, back to Ms. Rodriguez. How would you like to proceed, Ms. Underwood?
Your Honor, I have a question. Ms. Rodriguez has a case, a new file from 2018 that is going to have to be dealt with. I have talked to Ms. Walsh regarding this case. And it was Ms. Walsh's, Ms. Walsh made clear that her recommendation, if Ms. Rodriguez pled to the failure to report, would be, she's paid on both files and she's done 302 days in jail. So her recommendation would be that she be discharged from probation unsuccessfully.
Today?
It would seem to me that that does not impact on the case, the new case that she caught in 2018. I don't believe it does, as long as she doesn't plead to anything regarding that violation. Is that correct?
I didn't realize she had a new case.
This is only, I'm sorry.
So, Ms. Walsh.
I'm okay with it still, though.
Are we just
mean-
gonna terminate her or discharge her unsuccessfully?
Yeah, that's what I would recommend. Her 5 years was pretty close.
So, yeah, by 2 months. So do we even need to do anything today, or are you just gonna discharge her?
I was fine with waiving an updated PSI if
Okay,
Rhonda was fine with that. Give her time served and discharge unsuccessfully. Revoke.
Ms. Rodriguez, you wanna raise your right hand?
Ms. Rodriguez, this will have nothing to do with your case downstairs. It will allow you to come to it with a clean slate, so to speak.
Okay.
Okay, raise your right
Yes,
hand.
ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, can you state your full name for me?
Megan Marie Cooper, formerly Rodriguez.
All right, you can put your hand down. So do you understand? Now, you received a copy of the motion affidavit and bench warrant with the allegations against you, did you not?
I looked over it. They let me look over it. I received it, yes.
All right, so you understand that potentially the maximum penalty for pleading guilty on this could be up to 20 years in prison, but there's an agreement that you're gonna plead guilty and then we're gonna give you credit for time served and discharge you from probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood as your attorney and the advice that she's given you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have a right to contest the violation of probation charge and to have a trial on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that throughout this trial, you will be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven by preponderance of the evidence?
Yes.
You have a right to have all the witnesses against you appear at your trial, to have your lawyer ask those witnesses questions, or you may ask them yourself, and to have me order any witnesses you might have to appear at that trial. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have to testify at your trial. No one can say anything about you not testifying or hold it against you in any way. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You do not have, or, on the other hand, you understand that you do have a right to testify at your trial if you want to.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, how do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation by failing to report on March 19 of 2018 or any time thereafter? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up your right to a trial as I've already explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and your sentence has been agreed upon. Has anyone threatened you in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
If I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of, I'm sorry, I had to turn my mic on. If I accept the plea, you're giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes.
Okay, so Ms. Rodriguez, in March of 2018, you were about 2 months shy of being discharged from probation. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you were supposed to report on March 19th of 2018 to your probation officer. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you report in March?
I don't think I did. I called her. I know I did call her.
But
To
did you
tell her was
report?
that coming here? No.
Did you report in April?
March. April. No, I don't think I reported since I found out about the new charge.
Okay, and that's the new charge you got downstairs?
Yes.
Okay, is that a felony or a misdemeanor, Ms. Underwood?
I believe it's felony, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Do you realize if you just take care of all of this, then you wouldn't even be here today?
I was scared then, but I had, like I said, it's been 7 years. I wouldn't change my whole life around. I was.
No,
I
but
didn't
you
have a
understand
public-
if you had dealt with it then, you wouldn't even be, like, you would have been done with probation probably. You know that, right?
I do now, but my mind wasn't right then.
Okay, I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of her rights. She does have competent counsel. Ms. Rodriguez, you do have a right to have a pre-sentence report done on a probation violation, but you can waive that. Would you like to waive that today and proceed to sentencing?
I believe Ms. Rodriguez has no objection to waiving her pre-sentence in this matter.
Is that right, Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Underwood, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Ms. Rodriguez?
Just that I think Ms. Rodriguez now understands the court's point, and it's my hope that with the case downstairs, the powers that be will consider the fact that Ms. Rodriguez has apparently kept her nose clean for a substantial period of time.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, anything you want to say?
She's pretty much said it. I've just, I've got stability and established a lot in my life in the last 7 years. I'm married, another kid. I have 4 beautiful boys and I own my own business. I could keep going, but I'm very blessed and I'm asking for a chance. I don't know nothing about that life no more. And here I am today.
I'm glad. Well, I'm glad that you've made those changes, but you got to take care of this stuff and get past it so that you can continue with your life. So it's sentence of the court. You'll receive credit for time served. How long you been in jail?
Yesterday, they picked me up New Year's.
So what would the total be, Ms. Walsh?
304, maybe?
303.
Right, I'll give you credit for 303 days served, and I'll order you to serve 303 days and discharge you unsuccessfully from probation. Ms. Rodriguez, I do wish you the best of luck. Get this behind you and you can continue on with your life. Now, you do have the right to appeal this sentence. They're going to provide to you your notice of right to appellate review at the jail. Please fill out the information on the form. If you wish to appeal the sentence and mail it to the address listed on on the form within 42 days. They're gonna ask you to initial and date one copy just for our records so that I know you received them. I wish you the best of luck, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
You're all
Good
set.
luck, Ms. Rodriguez.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
All right, okay, so now we're back with Mr. McCormick. Did you get his paperwork, Miss Underwood?
I did.
Okay. All right, so Miss Underwood, I don't think you were here, but Mr. McCormick's bond conditions did not say he could not use any illegal controlled substances, but I'm gonna change those bond conditions and update them, so it does say that. So I'm only proceeding on the blue a 0.029 VAC. And because I'm assuming he's got some charges on that cocaine charge. So, all right, he asked for court appointed counsel. I'm gonna open up the breakout room so you guys can chat. Miss, are you here to do so?
Yes, ma'am.
She's in back. Jeff will let you back.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Who's his attorney? Oh, sir, you gotta click on join that, wait.
Where's the mouse? Got him?
No, no.
Do I need to click? Join?
Yeah, use the mouse and click on join.
Yeah. No, that's what. Street. Remember those days, right?
I do. All right. She was.
Okay, all right. I know that's the section. Okay.
Check those answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, guess so. Gladys posted. Gladys told me. Hmm.
That is the interim. It might can't be
It might be.
Gladys.
Yeah, it says they have.
Yeah, 'cause Gladys is one of the kids from the original.
Mhm. Says on there. It's not a case. All right, Miss Underwood, I'm gonna close that breakout room. All right, Miss Underwood. There he is. All right, so Miss Underwood, we are back with Mr. McCormick. How would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, I would ask the court enter a not guilty plea on Ms. McCormick's behalf. Your Honor, Mr. McCormick, father is suffering from some very serious medical issues. I believe he had a stroke on Saturday. I understand the importance of these bond conditions, and I think Mr. McCormick does too, and we have discussed it. I would ask that the court consider releasing Mr. McCormick with the bond conditions and the ones that were added, and set this for tomorrow with Mr. Glacier.
So, okay, so I'm not gonna release him. Cause I mean, that's the day he got busted drinking and using coke. I can set this over tomorrow in front of Judge Olsaver with his attorney. I'm not gonna release him though.
Okay.
It's possible. My mom has cancer, my grandma had a stroke, and I have a 93.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said, my mom has cancer, my dad, he just had a stroke.
So, okay, but you know what? If my mom had cancer or my dad had a stroke, I certainly wouldn't be drinking and using Coke. So, no. So I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. And I will set this over tomorrow morning in front of Judge Olsaver with your attorney.
Thank you.
So we'll set this over to January 3rd and we'll set it at 8:30. All right, thank you. Your bond's continued. And I'm modifying the bond to use no controlled substances. All right, thank you.
All set.
Yep, you're all set.
Thank you.